What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Wrestling Radar podcast here on Ram Nation Radio, the final show of 2018 of this year. We'll probably be back after the holidays, but we got a lot of stuff to get into. I'm your host, Ryan Monterano. That's Nick Monterano. How you doing, Nick?
Doing good as always. I'm kind of sad, got a couple weeks off. Get some time to a nice break, but hopefully when we come back, we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, it's okay that we have a little break because what we're going to get into today covers everything through New Year's, I'd say, for wrestling, because obviously the year's coming to an end. So there's not much going on after this weekend with WWE, because this last pay-per-view of the year this weekend with TLC. We have Ring of Honor, their final pay-per-view. It's coming up this Friday. We'll get into New Japan's WrestleKingdom 13, their biggest show of the year, which is on January 4th. So that's okay. Everything we get into tonight, we'll take care of the next few weeks, and we'll have everything covered for you. So before we begin, as always, make sure to follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, at The Wrestle Radar. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to us on YouTube at The Wrestling Radar. We have a whole bunch of new things coming out. We just have a brand new video of Black Friday unboxing, which Nick took care of, showing off all his stuff that he got from Pro Wrestling Tees and Hot Topic. And also, this past Friday, we met the man, Becky Lynch, at I Play America in New Jersey. And we also have a day in the life vlog on there for you right now on the channel. So if you have not seen that yet, go check it out.
Also got another day in the life, should be coming sometime next week, Ring of Honor Final Battle. So, yeah, a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of stuff on our channel now, and a lot of stuff coming up.
Absolutely, yeah. We're always doing something. We're always making things happening, always putting out some content for you guys. So, yeah, that's basically the introduction. So let's just jump right into Raw.
Yeah, we can touch on Raw because, like I said, like we say, we give credit when credit's due. And I don't think that Raw was as bad. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it was great, wasn't saying it was good, so it wasn't as bad as previous weeks. It had its highs, had its lows, but
I'm not really saying much, but
yeah,
I know what you mean in terms of that. The show itself, I thought, like you said, it was not as bad as we've seen, but to me, it looked like a desperation move.
Well, yeah, giving a TLC match on Monday Night Raw is pretty much, waving the white flag, showing that they realize that they need to give us something.
Yeah, so. A TLC match, you're giving us a title change. Things like that, it just shows that they're desperate for the ratings to get back up, because I read again a report from the Wrestling Observer that once again Raw had another ratings drop, and I'm not sure if this beats the lowest ratings of all time.
I think I read that it did beat the lowest ratings of all time, which I feel like have been getting beat in the past couple of weeks, which really is crazy to think that Monday Night Raw has been on the air every single Monday night for about 25 years, and now we are living through probably the worst era of Monday Night Raw through all of that.
Absolutely. So the Wrestling Observer reported that the Raw ratings hit another record low, dropped another 4% off of last week's modern era record low, with just a 2.19 million viewer average this past Monday. So yeah, it just continues to drop and drop and drop in the ratings, and I'm happy about that. Do I think anything's gonna happen as a result of that? Probably not. No. But it does show Vince McMahon and company that things need to change, or else,
I think they understand things need to change, because they wouldn't have had Seth Rollins go out there and cut the promo he did. Literally, just taking things off of Twitter. Everything we've been saying, the fans been saying, Seth Rollins said on Monday night to Baron Corbin. Yeah. I'm talking about how the Lucha House Party and the Revival, talking about, the piss segments. Basically word for word, he went on Twitter, which, just shows that they know what's wrong, but are they going to fix it is the problem, is the question.
Yeah, that was pretty funny that Seth Rollins came out and said the show sucks because Baron Corbin's running the ship, and he's not wrong in that. I know it's part of the script, but we all feel the same way. The show has way too much Baron Corbin. It started out, first 10, 15 minutes of Raw, again, same thing. You had Seth Rollins come out, but you had Baron Corbin right behind him, and it's just the same thing. They set up the TLC match, which was pretty cool. The main event I thought was pretty good, between Rollins and Corbin. And there were some points, Nick, where I thought Corbin was actually going to win that match with Heath Slater as the referee. That's just another thing, too. Heath Slater is positioned in this storyline now for what? What's the purpose? Where is this going?
I just don't understand. I understand it's only like a 1 week thing, but why is this even a storyline? You have Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, which, they're on the poster for TLC, so they're most likely going to be the main event of TLC. Why not just, keep them in their own storyline and, keep Rollins out of this. The whole Baron Corbin show.
I think, in my opinion, the main reason this company continues to fail time and time again is because they focus on guys that don't deserve the focus, you know? Like, why is Heath Slater getting attention on Raw in the main event segment? What reason is he getting the attention for? Like, I don't understand. Like, Dean Ambrose should have been out there in some sort of fashion, I mean, he is taking on Seth Rollins on Sunday. They are positioned in a big-time feud. Where was he throughout the whole main event, I don't know. To me, it's just like, it just does not make sense. And, I don't know where it's going. I just, again, they just focus on guys that we just don't care about. I mean, at all.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And like it just said, it's the same stuff over and over again. I know this past following Monday, we didn't see the revival in the house party. We didn't see the stuff we've seen every week. But, just the way that they're booking these guys, this is not right.
The other thing that happened, like I mentioned before, tag team title change as Bobby Roode and Chad Gable defeated the Authors of Pain.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that officially the Authors of Pain are buried. They're done. I mean, as sad as it sounds, because they're, in NXT, a huge tag team, the most intimidating tag team in NXT. And I thought when they went to the main roster, there was no possible way to screw these guys up. And they did, by giving them Drake Maverick, and now involving them in this storyline, and now having Drake Maverick lose the titles for them. I mean, I think if next week they're still out there with Drake Maverick, then there's a problem. That's just so idiotic that if they don't drop Drake Maverick next week, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, it really is pathetic how they handle talent from NXT that comes up. And it's like almost a given that every single talent that comes up that was good in NXT is just going to fail eventually on the main roster. I mean, it really is bound to fail. It's sad. And, finally you think the Authors of Pain, they win the tag team titles. They're on top of the world. What was their run, like a couple of weeks? I don't even think it lasted a month. Maybe it just hit a month. But, I mean, just to drop it randomly to Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, which I do like them. I think they're a decent tag team. But, I mean, come on. I would like to see them.
It's in the fashion, too, having, Drake Maverick take the pin. I mean, that was the only way they were going to drop the titles. But... to me, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, not at all.
And I'd give Lars Sullivan about maybe a month before he gets buried, too.
Oh, yeah, Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan is now lurking, Nick. He's now lurking.
They got to drag these little videos out as long as they can.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I got no hope for that guy. But, yeah, I mean, R.I.P. the Authors of Pain, or AOP, because they don't like us calling them the Authors of Pain. But it's just, who knows?
And, you got to think that, these guys in NXT, like Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Aleister Black, Velveteen Dream, that they're sitting in NXT being like, we don't want to be called up. Like, I want to stay here. Like, NXT is where it's at right now. And, it's almost like getting caught up with the main roster is like, a demotion.
Pretty much, I would say so.
I mean, if I'm Adam Cole, I want to stay in NXT as long as I can. Even after you're done with Undisputed Era, be a singles guy in NXT, go for the title. I mean, there's no rush to send any of these guys up to the main roster because they're not needed. Yeah, they really aren't. I mean,
no, I know. So, besides those two things, I mean, what else really happened on Raw? Not much, right? I mean, we saw...
Not much. I will say, I'll give a little bright note, something I did like. Ruby Riott. I'm not sure if you saw the segment with Natty. I think Ruby Riott is a star. I honestly think that she, sooner rather than later needs to drop the Riott Squad and do her own thing because she can talk on the mic, she can wrestle, she has the look. She can be a top heel in the company, and I think that she could honestly take the women's title eventually.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think she's always been a star. I think now people are just finally realizing it because they're letting her be a star, Yeah. The storyline with Natty is sort of pointless, but at the same time, it's really showcasing what Ruby Riott can really do on the microphone and in a big-time feud like this. And some people didn't like the segment with... Jim Neidhart, his face being on the table. But this is what WWE does, though. Anything to get heat on somebody, they will do.
But you have to imagine, like, people that are getting mad at that need to get over it because obviously this was cleared by Natalya. Obviously she was okay with it, and it's not disrespecting him at all because, like I said, it's part of a storyline that, like I said, Natty was cleared on. I'm sure her family cleared it too. I mean, it's one of these things where they're not just going to randomly spring it upon her.
Right. I mean, WWE's not this cold-hearted beast that's just going to go out there and just make fun of somebody who's passed away. I mean, like, obviously, like you said, and if Jim Neidhart was still alive, like. I mean, I don't know how this is possible, how he would okay a storyline like that, but like he I'm sure he would be okay
what
with
he
it.
would have wanted.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was trying to get at.
And look what it's getting at. Natalya has a singles match at TLC. I mean, who thought, who ever saw that coming?
And it's a tables match. So, I mean, hey, I don't know if that's a pre-show match or not. To me, it should be a pre-show match, but that could be pretty good. I mean, Natalya Neidhart is a great wrestler. I've always thought she was.
She's just not good on the mic, but that's besides the point.
She comes from a family who's very high up there in the world of professional wrestling, and of course, I would love to see Ruby Riott get this win, but this screams Natalya winning to me all the way because of how this feud's been going lately. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting segment, and like I said, Ruby Riott, I think, is really showcasing what she could do.
Yeah, funny. One thing I want to note is that it's good that obviously on Sunday is TLC, that they're having more gimmick matches, because in previous years a pay-per-view called TLC would only feature 2 TLC matches, 1 TLC match. Now all these matches, like you see, Bobby Roode and Elias is going to be a ladders match, even though it's kind of stupid with a guitar hanging up, still a ladders match. There's the tables match. Who's in the chairs
match? Randy Orton and
Rey Mysterio is a chairs match. I mean, I like how they're making a lot of gimmick matches. So if you're going to have a pay-per-view named after a match type, you can't have one match, be that pay-per-view. I mean, that's why I feel like Hell in a Cell should be every match inside the cell.
They're definitely using the gimmick to their advantage this year, but I feel like they're using them in the wrong matches. I think Dean and Seth should easily be a ladder match. Okay?
Well, it's a TLC match.
Dean and Seth? No.
No?
It's a regular match.
Oh.
It's a regular, I'm pretty sure it's a regular one-on-one match for the Intercontinental title. That should be a ladder match.
Oh, but what is a TLC match is Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin, a match that's not even going to happen.
Right. Yeah, we'll get into that later. That's interesting in itself, because I don't know if Braun's going to be ready to go. But yeah, that's a TLC match. No title on the line, no nothing. And that's a TLC match, but something as important as Seth and Dean, which I think a lot of people are looking forward to.
Especially main events. I mean, maybe that shows.
There's no way that main event.
Maybe that shows that the women's match will main event, which it definitely should. But
it should, yeah. But yeah, I mean, you're definitely right. They are utilizing tables, ladders, and chairs all together, but in the wrong matches. Which again, you know what? I could have bet you $1,000 that WWE would screw it up somehow. So here we are. We're getting a ladders match for a guitar. A tables match, fighting over, Natalya's dead father, and we're getting a chairs match between 2 guys that were relevant in 2008, between Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio. So, hey, whatever. We'll get into predictions and preview for that in just a little bit. But other than that, I really don't think much really happened on Raw. You did get to some of the same stuff with, Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox, and now you Bayley with Apollo Crews now. All that stupid stuff that we really don't want to get into. Leo Rush was in action against Elias. Pretty cool to see Leo Rush wrestling on Raw. I did find that interesting, because we were a fan of Leo Rush before he made his debut in WWE.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him at kind of some Evolve shows, and Ring of Honor shows. We saw him a lot of shows.
So it's cool to see him wrestling on Raw, and they got to get more 205 Live guys involved on the main roster, which is a great segue
over to SmackDown
Live, where we had Mustafa Ali, the heart and soul of 205 Live, one of the greatest talents in the entire company. Man, I'm telling you, this guy is so underrated because he's on 205 Live, and that's part of the problem of why he needs to get the heck off that show, because he is the real freaking deal, and he showed why in the opening segment on SmackDown when he went head-to-head with Daniel Bryan. I thought that was a fun match for what it was. 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, if it even went that far. I thought it was great. I thought Mustafa Ali showcased himself perfectly and gave the fans who are not familiar with him, something to talk about and be like, wow, I got to check this guy out more often.
Yeah, definitely. I think that, this should, hopefully this opens the door for more 205 Live guys coming. We saw Leo Rush wrestle on Raw, now Mustafa Ali on SmackDown, Lucha House Parties on Raw. Hopefully this opens the door for 205 Live guys to start wrestling the main roster and hopefully start wrestling for titles. I mean, I would have loved to see Mustafa Ali as an Intercontinental Champion or a United States Champion.
Yeah.
Throw guys like, Tony Nese up there. The 205 Live is good on its own right, but it shouldn't be this boundary, this glass ceiling that you can't break out of. I think that, like I said, these guys would thrive on the main roster. They could still stay in 205 Live, but just, allow them to do other things.
Yeah, which is interesting, because I'm wondering if this is a little test. I'm wondering if they're testing the waters with some of these guys, like seeing how they handle being on the big stage of like SmackDown Live and stuff like that. I mean, it's not really a bigger stage though, if you think about it, because 205 Live,
same exact,
yeah, they're wrestling in the same exact arena. So I don't know if it's just, I don't know if they want something more interesting or they want to bring some new talent in, which is great, but I do feel like if they are going to be featured on SmackDown and Raw like they have been, they got to get him off of 205 Live though. Like I don't know, like I'm seeing Mustafa Ali versus Daniel Bryan, and then like right after the next day he's wrestling like Cedric Alexander. Like it's cool, but at the same time it's like it's too much. Like he needs to focus on one show and be a part of one show. And if they pull Mustafa Ali and put him on SmackDown permanently, like you said, it opens up the gates to guys like Tony Nese, guys like Drew Gulak, other talented guys on 205 Live that have not gotten the opportunity yet because the roster is so clogged. And obviously guys like Buddy Murphy, Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, those guys have been getting the push. And then you got guys like Tony Nese who are sitting back doing nothing.
And that's what happens when you have a roster full of guys and only one title to go for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very hard to, in this day and age, to have meaningful feuds that don't revolve around a title. So
I know,
especially on a show like 205 Live, which doesn't get much views as it is.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was a great opener, really fun match. Obviously, Mustafa Ali didn't get the win, but he shouldn't get the win because he's going up against the WWE champion. Which, by the way, Daniel Bryan doing outstanding work as a heel, really, really starting to dig it. He's very believable as a heel too,
because that's literally Daniel Bryan when he talks about climate change and all this saving the environment stuff. I mean, that's literally Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, he's speaking from the heart, and it's relatable because you know how he is. But yeah, tremendous heel. He's doing some great stuff. I didn't know how I would like it at first, but it's really growing on me, and curious to see where this goes and how long he holds this WWE championship. The rest of the SmackDown I thought was pretty good too. I didn't really watch the rap battle. I'll admit I kind of skimmed through that on the DVR, so I'm not really going to get into that. You had a tag team match between Jeff Hardy and Rusev against Nakamura and Samoa Joe, which I thought was pretty cool. What else? You had Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio hyping up their chairs match. This stuff with The Miz and Shane McMahon is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Where is this going?
I honestly think it's just a filler because I still believe that the plan is Miz versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. So I think this stuff right now is just a filler, just to keep Miz on TV and kind of just hold off until the Rumble.
But is this leading to like Shane versus The Miz at the Rumble or something? Like what?
Maybe. Who knows? I honestly, probably.
I don't want to see that match. Does anybody want to see that match?
I don't know. Maybe, I will say one thing I will say about Shane is that he always does a good job of when people don't really care for his matches, he'll make you care for him. He puts on a good match, but who knows what this is leading up to.
I don't know. I mean, to me, I'm just not interested in any of it. I tried to skim through most of that, too. I wanted to see what the in-ring segment was, and it was just pointless. Like, they beat up more enhancement talent. This time, they actually got the win. But, I don't know. I'm really wondering where this is going. If they're just taking this to the end of the year by now, because, Miz is not on the card on Sunday, is he? I don't think so. So, they got nothing for him. Maybe it is just filler, like you said, but who knows what's going to happen with that. And then the main event was Asuka versus Charlotte, WrestleMania 34 rematch. Really good match. I thought that was really, really fun. It's always great to see Charlotte and Asuka do battle. And then it ended with kendo stick shots galore between all three women.
Those shots that when Asuka had the kendo stick going back and forth from Becky on the table to Charlotte on the floor, that was great. Honestly, I loved every second of that because it just shows what now the women's division is capable of. They use weapons too. And I say it was a great ending to SmackDown. Makes me a little nervous though that Asuka the show went off the air with Asuka standing tall because that doesn't really bode well if you look at the past history of pay-per-view wins and stuff. That whoever really is on top at the end of their show most likely does not win. So who knows who wins this match on Sunday now?
Honestly, I don't even know if they still go by that, to be honest with you. I don't really, back in the day, it used to really mean, something if they get the upper hand before the pay-per-view, it's not a good sign going into there. But quite honestly, I don't really even think that's the case anymore. We'll get into predictions later, but I don't think this is going to hurt Asuka in any way. I do think the odds are in her favor come Sunday. But I thought it was a great way to end the show. And, that being the main event segment of SmackDown tells me that this match has got a main event. I mean, come on. The first ever triple threat women's TLC match, and it's not going to main event, and it's got one of the most popular women in the whole entire company, the most popular wrestler, period, in the whole entire company in it. I mean, come on, it's got a main event, absolutely. So, good segue into Sunday, which I loved, so can't wait for that. As always, get in on the conversation on Facebook Live. We got David posting here watching. He says he's always watching. Thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate you watching every single week and getting involved and supporting our show here. All right, well...
We got three cards to look at, so you want to jump right into the cards?
We could jump right into the cards. I also do want to mention the Evolve show that's going on this Saturday, too, which is a little under the radar. Evolve and NXT working very, very closely as of late, and they got some pretty big shows in New York this weekend. I'm going to try and go to the Saturday show. Not sure yet. Don't have tickets, but stay tuned for that. If I do end up going, you'll see on Instagram a highlight, story kind of vlog thing like I did for the previous Evolve show that we went to. But yeah, I mean, Roderick Strong is wrestling this weekend. Cassius Ohno is wrestling. The Street Profits, Fabian Eichner, the current NXT champion. These cards look stacked. The main event for one of the shows is Fabian Eichner versus Roderick Strong versus Austin Theory in a triple threat for the Evolve title.
Great match.
Cassius Ohno is facing Darby Allin. Street Profits versus J.D. Drake and Anthony Henry. And then the next night, it's Fabian Eichner, if he's still the champion, versus A.R. Fox. Roderick Strong versus Darby Allin, which is going to be a great match.
Darby Allin's a very underrated wrestler. If you've never seen any footage of him, definitely go on YouTube and watch him because he's very under the radar.
Yeah, definitely check him out. He's a fast rising star, and I would not be shocked to see him in NXT someday. Probably sooner rather than later. Who knows? I don't know if he has interest in going, but I'm sure he would be on their radar.
I think he'll have a big 2019, though.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. And then Cassius Ohno versus Anthony Henry. Of course, there's other matches on those cards, but that's just the matches that are involving the NXT guys. So, yeah, going to be some great cards if you're in New York and around the area. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, and on Sunday, if TLC doesn't look interesting to you, the Evolve show is running up right against TLC.
Yeah.
So, Deer Park, New York, NYWC Sportatorium. Go there instead of watching TLC.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely got other options, but TLC does look pretty stacked.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Saturday there's also a show, which is what I'm going to try to go to on Saturday instead. So, yeah, like you said, we got three big cards to really dive into. You got Ring of Honor, Final Battle, biggest pay-per-view of the year. Now a 4-hour event as announced yesterday. And, that's going to be pretty big. WrestleKingdom for New Japan in a couple of weeks. And then, of course, TLC this weekend. So, which one do you want to jump into first?
I think let's jump into TLC because I think we're going to go more in depth on the other cards than we will TLC.
All right.
So
we'll talk about these matches, give our previews and our predictions, and, just talk about how the match is going to go. So, start it off.
So we'll start it off. I'm going no specific order. We'll go Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio. Obviously, in the chairs match, I'm going Rey Mysterio only because the storyline, there really is nothing to it. So why not give the babyface the win?
I mean, I hope Rey Mysterio wins it. I mean, based on what has been happening in this feud where Randy Orton's basically gotten the edge every single time except for this past Tuesday on SmackDown. But I don't really think this really means anything, to be completely honest with you. Randy Orton pulled Rey's mask off. He put his chair around his neck. And I just think Randy has gotten the upper hand in every single time except for this past week. I like Rey Mysterio's odds, and ever since coming back, Rey's really been doing nothing, and if they do want to throw him into a title picture and get him involved in a major storyline heading into the direction of the Royal Rumble and possibly WrestleMania, he's just got to keep winning here. I just don't see... Randy Orton's barely around. Rey Mysterio's around more than Randy Orton is, so why would Randy Orton get the win? Just, I'm going to yawn at the thought of Randy Orton winning. So Rey Mysterio, I think, picks up the win here. And I hope they utilize the chairs a lot because I hate the chairs match, to be honest. I think it's the stupidest
kind of weird. But...
I mean, it really is. A no DQ match is a chairs match. So why has this got to be any specific match like this? So, yeah.
Right. So next match, Elias, Bobby Roode in a ladder match with the guitar hanging above the ring. First person to grab the guitar gets to use it. But... Which I don't really get that because, we've seen in the past the kendo stick on a pole match between Bayley and Alexa Bliss. That was first person that grabs it gets to use it, but both women got to use it. So I don't really see the point in this, whoever gets it first, it doesn't really matter because both guys will get to use it. But I think just for the sake of the storyline, to keep the heat going out, that Bobby Lashley is going to get the win.
I think Elias is going to get the win here. I think this is setting up for Elias to really take off. I don't know what I mean by take off. I just mean he's going to keep improving and keep getting higher and higher up the card. A lot of people don't care about this match, and I don't really care about this match, to be honest. I think it's the stupidest thing, the guitar hanging above the ring. I mean, the guitar is just coming into play now this past Monday. I think that's so stupid. And then I guess you win the match by pinfall.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
so really,
it's really a dumb thing, a dumb concept, but this is what the WWE likes to do. They like to add in stupid gimmicks like this. But I just think Elias gets the win here, and then his momentum keeps rolling. Right now, he's babyface now, and he's over with the crowd. I mean, I think he's been over for a while, but now that he's embraced the babyface role, I think he's really going to start to take off. So I think Elias picks up the win here, and I hope they make this entertaining somehow, some way. I know people don't care about Bobby Lashley, but
let's hope that Leo Rush doesn't have a microphone during this match.
He hasn't had one in the past couple of weeks.
So
that might be done and gone, so thank God for that if that's the case. But, yeah.
All right, so we'll head over to SmackDown Tag Team titles, which was defending a triple threat tag team match. The Bar versus the Usos versus the New Day. I don't know. I mean, I think that the Bar is going to retain here. I don't really see them giving another title change with the tag titles because, I mean, I feel like those have been flopped around, so many times. So I'm just going to stick with the Bar on that one.
I'm going to go with the Bar, too. It's always tough to know what direction they're going to go in with the tag titles, especially something like the SmackDown tag titles. I mean, do they give it to the Usos again? I mean, they have so many runs with it.
Yeah, they're going to give it to the New Day again. It's
right. I mean,
whoever wins, if the next title change is going to be that guy's like third or fourth reign with it. So it's like,
bring back Sanity for the love of God. Where are they? Bring a new team into the mix for once.
I don't know. Do they even travel to SmackDown anymore?
I have no idea. Do they forget that they're on the roster? Because I forget that they're on the roster. And here's another thing too. Nikki Cross. They brought her in for that one debut,
one match,
right?
Yeah, one
Where's
match.
she? It's just and I literally didn't realize until this minute when we're talking about it. That's the problem. You easily forget about these guys and girls if they're not on TV every single week.
Sanity, again, another sick tag team from NXT that just what happened? I just don't understand. It's almost like a game. Oh wow, I got some new NXT stars. How can I ruin them? Oh, let's not put them on TV for a couple of months.
I know.
They really showed up for their debut, and then maybe were there for 3 weeks, and then never showed up again.
Yeah, I know. It's bad, and I don't know the reasoning behind it. So let's hope whoever wins this match just gets a fresh feud going into 2019. I mean,
we can only hope.
Even Gallows and Anderson, right? They're on SmackDown, right? Where are they? Nowhere to be found. Again, it's the same tag teams over and over and over again. I love all three of these guys, all three of these teams, I should say. But, enough is enough. It's the same thing over and over. So I think definitely the Bar is going to pick up the win here and retain the SmackDown tag titles.
All right, then we'll go with our next match is a tables match, Natalya versus Ruby Riot.
I'm
trying to fix my mic right now.
Fix the camera and I'll go over
you talk
Natalya and Ruby Riot.
Match.
All right, so Natalya, Ruby Riot, tables match. Like I said before, I think Natalya gets the win here. I just think it's bound to happen with the way this storyline and this feud has been going. Ruby Riot getting the upper hand every single time. Making Natalya cry over and over with the sunglasses, and then this past week with her father on the table. This is bound for a good, happy, heartfelt ending with Natalya getting the win, putting Ruby Riot through a table.
No way do I see Ruby Riot winning this match because, like you said, they gotta, especially after they brought her dad into this, there's no way she's gonna lose this match.
Yeah.
So next, the Cruiserweight Championship on the line. Buddy Murphy putting a title against Cedric Alexander. Again, this is going to be another really good 205 Live match, but I don't see Buddy Murphy dropping the belt.
Yeah, it's too soon for that.
Especially back to Cedric Alexander, who he won it from in Australia. So
yeah, this will be a fitting way to close out 2018 for the Cruiserweight division with this rematch. Cedric Alexander getting his opportunity ever since he lost it in Australia, getting another opportunity here. Hopefully this puts us an ending to this feud, and 205 Live takes a different direction in 2019. Cedric Alexander is another guy who I'd love to see move on to SmackDown or Raw. Mm-hmm. He's just done everything in 205 Live already. I feel like if you've had a run with the Cruiserweight title, it's time to graduate. It's time to move up.
You don't see you don't see guys that lose the NXT championship going back down to do undercard stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny that Mustafa Ali is the one that debuts on SmackDown. I don't think he's there permanently, but he makes his debut on SmackDown. He was never the Cruiserweight champion, right?
Yeah, no.
Never. So it's weird, and he's one of the most popular guys. He's the heart and soul of 205 Live. Never won the title. So Cedric Alexander needs to move on from here because, again, he's got nothing left. Remember TJP, Nick?
Yeah, who knows where that guy is?
I mean,
first ever cruiserweight champion on top of the world.
Well, I can't say who. I don't know where he is because I don't watch 205 Live, so he could be featured every single week. But he's just not in a prominent role.
I think he's hanging around with
Mike Bennett.
Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis.
Yeah,
I've seen them post pictures every now and then. But but again, another talent unfortunately wasted.
Yeah.
But after that, Ryan, we get to figure out who's going on vacation. We got the finals of the mixed match challenge.
God.
Who's going to Hawaii? Is it going to be Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal or Carmella and R-Truth? I think this is a obvious one. It's going to be Carmella and R-Truth winning this one, entering number 30 in their respective rumbles and going on vacation. Really is just like so stupid how they had to add that the number 30 spot, because really the Royal Rumble's gonna be going on and number 30 is coming out. Oh, it's time for R-Truth to come out here. Like, what a waste! What an absolute mess this whole tournament has been. There were people getting injured,
they're pulling people,
sick,
they're replacing people left and the right.
This needs to be the last mixed match challenge they ever do. Just chalk it on the failed column and just forget it ever happened.
Because think about it, they weren't going to have Asuka and The Miz in there, right? Because Asuka would have to pull double duty on the pay-per-view if that's the case. Mm-hmm. The same thing with half these people. I mean, like, they would have to pull double duty. Whose brilliant idea was it to have these finals be on the same day as WWE TLC?
Yeah,
I
mean, that's why Finn Balor got pulled because he's sick, but really he has his own match, so he can't.
Yeah, I read something. He has some sort of illness, but he's not injured.
Yeah, but even still, if he was in it, I mean, they didn't make it anyway. But
right, yeah, I mean, yeah, this is so stupid that it came down to these two. I mean, yeah, I think Carmella and R-Truth are obviously going to win. And, Carmella coming out at number 30, I mean, that's okay because she, has been in the women's division,
yeah, but it just takes away from, like, the hype of number 30. I mean, last year at number 30, I was on the edge of my seat being like, all right, so the Trish Stratus or Ronda Rousey, it was Trish Stratus, and I was, it was a great moment. Everyone got excited. But now it's going to be like, I don't know, it's like Carmella's not winning the Rumble. R-Truth's not winning the Rumble. So, like, what's the point?
Unless they have R-Truth. You know how they have this... It's the stupidest thing. I can't even believe I'm about to even explain it because I don't even know how I'm going to explain it. But you'll know what I'm talking about. You know how R-Truth just randomly walks into
forgets
things,
where he is,
and just has no clue what championship match it is.
Like the time he went to the Royal Rumble and pulled the ladder out and climbed up to the top.
Maybe he comes out at number 1 instead, and he thinks it's number 30. I don't know. Something absolutely beyond stupidity that they can do. Maybe he does that. Maybe he's not number 30 because, let's be honest, Nick. There is no way this guy could be number 30. I also read something, too, which is an interesting idea. Maybe somebody jumps R-Truth and takes his number 30 spot.
I thought about that.
I mean...
But watch. It's going to be Baron Corbin who's going to jump him.
Oh,
and then we'll get Baron Corbin number 30 in the Rumble.
It's absolutely going to be somebody stupid. You know that. But, come on. R-Truth coming out at number 30? Are you kidding me? The guys have been relevant in like 8 years.
And you're going to have R-Truth go into a ring. So usually at number 30, you got some high-profile talent in there. So you're going to have him in the ring with, the Seth Rollins, the Dean Ambrose, with all these guys up there. And is he going to eliminate someone? Watch him eliminate someone like who's been in the Rumble for like a really long time. Like watch someone come in number like 4 and be in the Rumble the entire time, and R-Truth will eliminate them.
They should send him on vacation so he misses the Royal Rumble. Same with Carmella. Just let them miss the Royal Rumble. Send them to Hawaii, book it for January 25th, let them come back on January 29th or 28th, whenever the day after the Rumble is, and let them miss it. I mean, my God, Nick, this is embarrassing.
It really is.
I hope this match is on the pre-show. If this match makes the main card, I'm telling you, man.
And they send, like, Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander to the pre-show. That'd be a shame.
This will be my piss break, my Oreo break, my pizza break, any break. I'm not watching this freaking match. It's beyond stupid. Oh my God, Nick! When I saw last night, this was the finals, and this was determined the number 30 spot in the Rumble. I mean, you gotta be kidding me with this, right? You gotta be kidding me.
It's ridiculous. So, let's move it away from the stupidity and the undercard. Let's go up to you go the upper cards and the more high-profile matches. Finn Balor taking on Drew McIntyre. Should be a decent match. Obviously, I think Drew McIntyre is picking up the win because he has to ride his hot streak right now as being a top heel in the company. So.
Yeah, let's face it. Both of these guys need wins. I mean, that's brutally obvious. I mean, especially Finn Balor, who's literally been floating barely above water.
If anybody could have used a vacation, could have been Finn Balor. Right? Go back to Japan for a little bit.
Yeah, really. But yeah, Drew McIntyre has more to gain from this. I feel like. I mean, he's on the upside. He's on the rise. He, like I said in last week's show he is my prediction to have a big 2019. I think he's going to become Universal Champion at some point. I mean, how could you not skyrocket this guy to the moon? I mean, I'd push him. I would have pushed him from the day he walked back into the company, and he's had a decent run since he's been back. I'm not gonna lie.
Unfortunately, I think he would have had a better NXT title run, but unfortunately, due to injury, it got cut short.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about just NXT. I'm talking about on the main roster. Like the run with Ziggler wasn't that bad. Like he was at least featured, you know. But
yeah, honestly, I don't know how the belt's not on this guy right now. But
yeah, I mean that could be. We could discuss that for like 2 hours. But yeah, like you said, one-on-one match should be good if given the time. These two guys are fantastic wrestlers inside the ring. Drew McIntyre hopefully picks up the win here and continues to move towards the Universal title picture.
And that we'll dive into a little bit, like you said before. We'll talk a little bit about it. So the match between Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin still scheduled on the card. I don't think, obviously, Braun Strowman is ready to actually wrestle. I could see him being there, but he's obviously not going to wrestle. But I don't see Baron Corbin picking up this win because I don't see him becoming full-time general manager of Monday Night Raw.
Is that what the stipulation is?
Because if he beats Braun Strowman, then because right now he's general manager elect. So if he beats Braun Strowman, he becomes a full-time Raw general manager.
Well, isn't it if Braun Strowman wins, he gets the shot at Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble? Is that stipulation too?
I think Braun Strowman gets the title shot, and like I said, if Corbin wins, becomes full-time general manager. So I could see somehow Corbin losing this thing, but I don't know how, and I don't know in what way. That, like I said, that's a little bit of intrigue heading into Sunday, is to see what happens with this match.
Yeah, intrigue. Expect nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be I expected nothing, and I'm still disappointed after it, probably, but...
Yeah, Braun Strowman gets the win somehow, some way, whether this is a 5-minute squash, whether...
Or 2-second squash, who knows?
Somebody else comes out in his position, I don't know. I mean, like you said, I mean, it's not realistically possible. The guy literally just had surgery on his elbow, right? And he's going to be wrestling like 3 weeks later, 4 weeks... To me, it doesn't seem realistic.
Yeah, it's not possible.
It's not really that important either. I mean, a match with Baron Corbin... Again,
it's not worth risking re-injuring your elbow or something like that.
Absolutely not. We all know that Braun Strowman's getting this shot at Lesnar at the Royal Rumble anyways, so like he just doesn't have to win this match to prove that. But yeah, there's just I mean, I guess I can see Baron Corbin winning somehow, but I don't know. If I'm putting money down, I'm gonna go with Braun Strowman. So
yeah, I'm still sticking with Braun Strowman somehow, some way. All right, then the Raw Women's title is on the line. Ronda Rousey putting it up against Nia Jax. Unnecessary match because I don't think Nia Jax. We don't need to see another match between these two. Obviously, Ronda's not dropping the belt, so Ronda's going to win.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an interesting match because the last time we saw Ronda Rousey in a match, she got booed out of the building. I know she was versing Charlotte, and it was the whole Becky Lynch thing, but a lot of people don't like Ronda Rousey, but a lot of people also don't like Nia Jax. So it's going to be interesting to see who gets, more. Obviously, Nia Jax will have more heat, but, yeah, like I said, Ronda Rousey picking up the win.
Yeah, I don't think Ronda will get booed in this spot. I mean, I don't think anybody likes Nia Jax, especially since what she did to Becky Lynch. You know what? I give credit to these two women when they had a match at Money in the Bank back in June. I thought it was a really, really solid match. I really thought they were great together. Ronda really held her own in there. I'm expecting the same thing here. I'm expecting a pretty decent match. But again, do I care enough? Not really. Do I think there's going to be a title change? No, I don't. Ronda Rousey easily going to win this match. And, yeah, who knows? I think, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch are definitely in Ronda's sights in the future. And, yeah, so hopefully she gets through this feud with Nia Jax. And hopefully Nia Jax just... I don't know, maybe if they debut... Yeah, or they debut tag titles and her and Tamina go for those. But please, Nia, stay away from the Raw Women's title. Please.
And heading back over to SmackDown, Daniel Bryan taking on AJ Styles, rematch for the WWE Championship. Again, it's another one of those where it's like, when you get to this time of year, you kind of start looking towards, future WrestleMania, Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan's not dropping the title, obviously. Who knows what AJ Styles does after this, match, because I don't know where he fits in. But, like I said, Daniel Bryan's the heel, going to win this match.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan's going to win. Of course, these two guys are going to kill it. I really think it's going to be great, as it's always been between these two guys. But yeah, I don't really see any shenanigans. I don't really see it playing out in any crazy way other than Daniel Bryan picking up the win, I guess, clean.
Because I think it's too early to, unless they're going to do like a small feud from now, leading up to Rumble with someone else. I don't see, like The Miz. If they say it is Miz Bryan at Mania, I don't see The Miz interfering right now. It's way too early.
Yeah.
Plus, he's doing his own thing with, I guess with Shane McMahon. Mm-hmm. So if there is another challenger lined up to take on, Daniel Bryan, possibly at the Rumble, maybe he shows up now. Or,
it's
maybe,
possible,
or like you said, just a clean win.
Maybe this is where Shane and The Miz come into play. Like, The Miz maybe tries to get involved some way, and maybe he tries to help AJ win, but maybe Shane comes out, and maybe Shane turns heel as a result of this. I don't know. I'm just spitballing ideas here.
I mean, that idea sounds better than anything they probably have planned. So.
Yeah, of course it does. But, yeah, I don't expect any of that to happen, folks. Daniel Bryan, though, will pick up the win here. And, we'll see what direction they move on to when 2019 rolls around.
And then Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, Intercontinental title on the line. I don't know. This match is, in the air because, I want to say that Ambrose is going to win this match, win the IC title, but I don't know. I mean, Rollins is just red hot right now, so can he take a loss? I don't know.
Yeah, I think Seth Rollins is going to win. I think Dean Ambrose probably should win, if I'm being honest, because Seth Rollins, obviously, we know he could do a lot more. He deserves to be in the Universal title picture, positioned in the main event. I think he has a good shot to win the Royal Rumble, this year. So, to me, he doesn't need the Intercontinental title. I mean, this is something that's been going on for a while now, since WrestleMania time. I mean, enough is enough now with the Intercontinental title. Let him drop it. I don't really see this feud with Dean Ambrose ending. That's just the problem here with the IC title coming into play. But I feel like right now, Dean Ambrose, let's be honest, ever since turning heel, hasn't really done much, Nick. He's come out and does these little promos here and there, but Rollins is actually the one wrestling matches. Dean Ambrose barely having matches, barely doing anything. I think he needs the title more than Seth Rollins does, so I hope they give it to Dean, but they'll probably just end up giving it to Seth. So
yeah, I think I'm just gonna lock my pick in with Dean because I think that, like I said, he's a great heel. I think he's going to take the belt.
Yeah, I'm going with Rollins, but hey, I like that idea instead.
And then which I think is going to be the main event, the triple threat women's.
This is our main event.
Yeah, so. It's our main event. The triple threat women's TLC, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Asuka. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I want Becky Lynch to hold the title, but I do think she will drop it. I think that was the whole reason of adding a third woman to this match so that, Becky Lynch doesn't have to be involved in the finish at all, so it doesn't make her look weak. I'm going to say that Asuka finally gets her, her shot and takes this belt and takes it into, Rumble.
Yeah, Asuka's my pick. I mean, I don't know if it sounds crazy or far-fetched, but, well, listen, I mean, Charlotte Flair, somehow, some way, I don't know how they're going to do it, but you know what? It's a scripted show. They can do whatever the heck they want. Somehow, some way, she's going to roll into Raw, and her and Ronda Rousey are going to have a match at the Royal Rumble, and their feud is far from over. Becky Lynch, I think, is going to end up winning the Royal Rumble and facing Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania, or there's going to be a triple threat. Either way, Charlotte and Becky are both going to be involved with Ronda Rousey and the Raw Women's title.
Yeah.
It's just a given. So them inserting Asuka into this position, to me, is a way to have neither Charlotte nor Becky win this match, so that none of them are women's champion, and they could move on to Raw. And Asuka can finally get her women's title run on the main roster, and the SmackDown women's title scene can be positioned around somebody other than Charlotte and Becky.
Charlotte and Becky.
Charlotte and Becky. Too many names being thrown around here at once. But yeah, Asuka, I think, is my pick, and it might shock a lot of people because I don't think a lot of people are talking about that. I don't think a lot of people expect this. I really don't. But there's got to be a reason, Nick, that Asuka's in this match.
Yeah,
it's not to take the pin because there is no pin.
Yeah, no.
So why is she positioned in this spot?
I think it's just because you can have Charlotte and Asuka be battling on top of the ladder with Becky out of the ring, not even in the finish. So you don't have, just say it was, Becky and Asuka, have Asuka throw Becky off the ladder and win it, then it makes Becky look weak. I think, it'll look better if Becky's not even involved in the finish. So, she can kind of say, I'm still the man because no one's still beating me one-on-one. I wasn't even there, something along those lines, so...
Yeah, Asuka's my pick to walk out as the champion, and it's going to be great to see because Asuka definitely deserves it and has gotten nothing for a long time, ever since WrestleMania. So now this will bring her back up to the top. And that's the one thing I do love about WWE is, you think somebody's dead, and then something so small like this, by throwing Asuka into this feud and her becoming champion, can rise her back up to the top. So it's great.
It's just interesting to see if that does happen, what other SmackDown woman rise to the occasion and takes her on.
Hey,
and
you know what?
Next feud.
After seeing that showdown, like we mentioned in the previous episode, Sonya Deville, after that showdown, that's bound to happen for the women's title. I mean, it really is. So that's tables, ladders, and chairs this Sunday from San Jose, California. A loaded card like we just went over.
12-match card.
I mean, yeah. Is it WrestleMania or a TLC, for God's sake?
Who knows?
But, yeah, it's going to be a long event on the WWE Network, but I'm looking forward to it, actually. I think most of the matches I'm into, I'm excited for. Hopefully they deliver a good pay-per-view, the final one of 2018.
All right, talking about final pay-per-views of 2018, I guess we'll run down the Ring of Honor Final Battle card, which is happening, obviously, on Friday from the Hammerstein Ballroom. A 4-hour card, a 4-hour show, like you said earlier, was just announced.
We'll be in attendance for it, too.
Yep, we'll be in attendance.
Fourth-row seats.
So if you're listening, if you're there...
Thank you, Jason, by the way, if he's watching right now, hooking us up with the good seats for the show.
But if you're listening right now, and if you're there on Friday and you see us, hey, say hi to us, hit us up, and we'll try and meet up. We love meeting people, talking about wrestling. So
and the vlog will be dropping too, probably this weekend after the show. So stay tuned for that.
Yes, definitely. Probably won't go too in detail like we did with TLC, and we'll go for WrestleKingdom. But let's run down the card. We got Matt Taven taking on Dalton Castle. I think Matt Taven's going to win this match only because he has his whole thing going with his own belt. That I think that eventually positioning himself to be in a main event spot, hopefully sometime soon. Now with Cody leaving, so Matt Taven's my pick.
Yeah, he's gonna have a big 2019 for sure. I think this guy's the future Ring of Honor World Champion, especially like you said with all the guys leaving. He's gonna get the spotlight sooner rather than later. So I think a win only helps him. Dalton Castle. I mean, again, this is what happens once a guy becomes world champion and they lose the belt, they kind of just drop and they don't really have anything to do. It's evident right now that Dalton Castle really has nothing going for him. Matt Taven has everything going for him right now. So in order to keep momentum going and have and roll into 2019, he needs to win this match.
All right, then Bully Ray taking on Flip Gordon in an I Quit match. There's no chance in hell that Bully Ray ever utters the words I quit, so I'm going with Bully Ray winning this match.
Yeah, this is tough. I don't know. I mean, Flip's a big baby face. I mean, I thought...
Big baby face, but I feel like in New York City, Bully Ray has always had extreme matches at, when he's wrestled at Hammerstein in the past with Ring of Honor, and I just think it's another case of, always beating down, the young gun.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't... it's really tough. I can't see either with these guys saying I quit. I'm going to go with Flip Gordon, though, the babyface. Usually in an I quit match, it's kind of how it ends with the babyface coming out with the win. And, Bully Ray is all about putting over the young talent. So I think this is just another example of that.
All right, then we got Christopher Daniels taking on Marty Scurll. With Marty Scurll's #1 contendership for the title on the line.
It's going to be a good match.
It's going to be a very good match, and I think that Marty Scurll is going to pick the win because I do believe he's the next in line for a title shot. So Marty Scurll's my pick.
Christopher Daniels is on his way out the door, folks. I mean, not just Cody and the Young Bucks, but SCU, Chris Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, they're all leaving. So why would Chris Daniels win this match? I think, like you said, Marty Scurll, just like Matt Taven, is going to have a big 2019. He is a future Ring of Honor World Champion as well. They need these guys to really come in and fill in these spots with these guys leaving. So Marty Scurll is going to pick up the win here, keep his #1 contendership in what I think is going to be one of the best matches of the night.
Then a special attraction match, not for me, of course, if you know me. Jonathan Gresham taking on Zack Sabre Jr. It's going to be a snooze fest, in my opinion, because I just don't like Zack Sabre Jr. I find his style boring. I mean, a lot of people like it. I just think that his matches drag on too much. But I'm going to pick Zack Sabre Jr. to win only because, huge star coming in for this one night. So why wouldn't he pick up the win?
I think this match is going to be great. I really do. Difference of opinions by far, but this is going to be a really, really fun match. Seeing Zack Sabre Jr. in Ring of Honor is going to be very, very cool. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Jonathan Gresham has a lot to offer. If you've never seen this guy before, he is absolutely tremendously talented, so agile, so athletic. He's got a lot to offer too, but I think his momentum is going to stop at the hands of the best technical wrestler in the world right now on planet Earth, Zack Sabre Jr. I think he picks up the win. I think this match is going to be great. I really do. And Nick, you know what? Just let this match happen, and your opinion may change. That's all I'm saying.
Who knows? Then we'll head over to the Women of Honor match, which, God, I'm hoping for a title change in this. It's a fatal four-way. Sumi Sakai, Madison Rayne, Karen Q, and Kelly Klein. I might pick Kelly Klein to take the title off of Sumi Sakai because she has had just a boring, god-awful run with this belt. She is not.
Should have never been the champion.
Yeah, she should not be the face of the Ring of Honor Women's Division. Nothing against her. It's just not interesting. She's not a bad wrestler. It's just, I don't know. It's the way that she her slaps. She does that weird thing where she waves her arms.
Yeah, if you've watched her, you know exactly what we mean.
Yeah. So Kelly Klein's my pick.
Yeah, the only other person I could see winning this other than Kelly Klein is Madison Rayne because Madison Rayne has signed a contract. I don't think Karen Q is under contract with the company. I could be wrong about that, but I'm not quite sure. I've seen her around other places, but I know Madison Rayne is exclusive to Ring of Honor, as is Kelly Klein. But I think Kelly Klein's winning this match too. I think she's tremendous talent, and it's time for a new women's champion. And Kelly Klein, out of all,
I think it's long overdue for a new women's champion.
You got that right. So yeah, she picks up the win. Hopefully, praying.
Ring of Honor World Television Championship on the line. Jeff Cobb putting it on the line against Hangman Page. Again, it's going to be a great match. Another huge match on the card. I see Jeff Cobb retaining. No, I think obviously Hangman's a great wrestler, but I think Jeff Cobb's going to retain.
Hangman Page is out the door. Again, this is what you got to take into consideration with a lot of these matches because this is the last match for Cody, the Young Bucks, Adam Page, and SCU, like I just mentioned. All these guys are leaving, so how are they going to pick up the win in their final Ring of Honor shows? Obviously, Jeff Cobb's the next big thing, too. Obviously, along with Marty Scurll and Matt Taven, I think he's a future Ring of Honor World Champion if he sticks around long enough. So Jeff Cobb, the Hawaiian juggernaut, is going to pick up the win here and retain the ROH television title. And again, what I think is going to be a tremendous, tremendous match.
And then again, talking about the guys out the door, our next two matches are almost obvious givens. Jay Lethal versus Cody for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Obviously, Jay Lethal's holding on to the belt because Cody's not taking that belt out of Ring of Honor. He's not sticking around.
It's pretty cool, though, because 2 years ago at Final Battle, Cody and Lethal had a match, and that was Cody's debut at Ring of Honor that we were there for. And now 2 years later, it's kind of like 2 years in the making, Cody Rhodes' final Ring of Honor match is against the same guy he debuted against, and this time it's for the Ring of Honor World title. It's his one-on-one rematch that he never got since losing it. Going to be a great main event, but I don't think he wins the title. I think Jay Lethal holds it, and Jay Lethal walks into the Garden on April 6th as the Ring of Honor World Champ. And who better to represent the company than Jay Lethal? He's a Ring of Honor guy.
Yeah, he's one of the OGs of Ring of Honor. He's been there since day one. So
he's been for a while.
So he definitely deserves it. And interesting that you say main event because I'm going to disagree with you. I think that the Ladder Wars is going to main event this show because that is a huge match, and I think you can't go from a match like that to a regular singles match. The crowd would be too hyped up. So I think the Ladder Wars match between the Young Bucks, the Briscoes, and Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky will main event. And again, SCU and the Bucks both on their way out, so I think the Briscoes will win the belts.
Yeah, the Briscoes are going to win here. I think SCU is the current champions. Like you said, Young Bucks and Frankie and Scorpio are out the door. But this is going to be fantastic. This match is going to be a crazy, crazy match.
The last Ladder Wars All-Star Weekend like a year or two, 2 years ago?
Was Young Bucks, Morrison Machine Guns, and Daniels and Kazarian. I believe so.
Yeah, and that was
unless they did another one,
Wars.
But that one stands out.
Yeah, that to me that was my first time watching Ring of Honor, and that just kind of hooked me. Yeah. So I cannot wait to see this match live. I can only imagine what these guys have up their sleeves, especially the Young Bucks who've built such a legacy in Ring of Honor on their way out. They're going to go out with a bang. They're not going to...
honestly, you couldn't have any better final matches for these guys, like the Bucks, like Cody. Like, their final Ring of Honor matches right here, Final Battle, are going to be outstanding. And yeah, like you said, seeing it live in person, the Young Bucks in a ladder match, I've never seen that before. I'm really excited for that.
It's definitely going to be weird, though, not having the Young Bucks around Ring of Honor or having Cody around Ring of Honor. So it's definitely going to be tough to get used to.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I got about 6 minutes left here on the show. We're going to end it off with something that's happening on January 4th. It's New Japan Pro Wrestling's WrestleKingdom 13. Happens at 3 a.m. Eastern on January 4th. And every year it's a tradition. Me and Nick stay up for it, watch the show. You got to watch this live. I mean, this show is just too good not to watch live. I can't watch shows like this on demand.
I can't watch any show on demand, really.
Yeah, after I know the results already, and obviously the show's going to be like 5 hours long, so you might as well stay up, have some coffee, take a nap earlier on, and zone in because you're going to want to watch this. So I'm going to go over the card. I'm probably not going to get as in-depth as we thought we would because we're running out of time, but we will go over every single match on this card. So it's going to start off with a match that I think is going to absolutely steal the entire show. I'm talking about Will Ospreay versus Kota Ibushi. It's announced as the first match on the card, and it's going to set the tone for the rest of the night. It's for the Never Openweight Championship, an absolute dream match. I can't think of a perfect place than the Tokyo Dome, WrestleKingdom, to have this match. I think Kota Ibushi wins, but my God, Nick, this match is going to be insane.
That's, like I said, it's very interesting because the past couple of years, we've had the Bucks open up WrestleKingdom.
Yeah.
But, this is a very interesting choice to open up because it's going to be a hot opener. It's really going to get, the Japanese crowd doesn't really get, hyped up like, the American crowd does, but it's definitely going to steal the show, and I think Kota Ibushi picks up the win.
Absolutely. The IWGP Junior Tag Team titles are on the line. The champions, Kanemaru and El Desperado, taking on Yo and Sho, Roppongi 3K, and Bushi and Shingo Takagi of LIJ. I think we get new champions here in the form of Bushi and Shingo. I think they win here. Kanemaru and Desperado, God, have been the champions for so long already. It's time for a switch.
Yeah, no, I think LIJ picks up this win.
And I love Shingo, so he's a tremendous talent.
Yeah, he's definitely a good addition to LIJ.
First time on the big stage of WrestleKingdom at the Tokyo Dome, so good for him. I think it's going to be a great moment, and they'll pick up the win. Tomohiro Ishii versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the Rev Pro Championship. I think Tomohiro Ishii wins this match. I could be wrong. I could see Zack Sabre Jr. picking up the win here, but my gut's telling me Tomohiro Ishii picks up the win.
Yeah, if I'm going to keep my gimmick going of hating Zack Sabre Jr., I can't give him any wins, so yeah, Tomohiro Ishii.
A match that has gotten a lot of controversy. People feel like the Young Bucks do not deserve this opportunity. Evil and Sonata won the tag league for the second year in a row. They got the opportunity to face the champions, GOD, and then the Young Bucks just walked in and they want their title rematch because they never got it. But they're the freaking Young Bucks. They could do whatever they want. So everybody complaining about it. Stop hating on the Young Bucks.
And the people complaining. You don't want the Bucks on WrestleKingdom? I mean, is this their last WrestleKingdom?
I've been seeing a lot of hate for the Young Bucks more than I've ever seen. I can't believe people actually hate them.
I understand it because, you have, guys like Evil Sana go through this, how long of a tournament this is.
Yeah, like 4 grueling weeks.
You go 4 weeks of matches and, have the Young Bucks kind of just show up, not even in the tournament and just be like, yeah, we're in this one too. So I understand where they're coming from, but also, like, you gotta realize you don't want the Bucks on this show.
I've seen a lot of hate, Nick. I've seen a lot of hate. So who do you got?
I don't know. I just don't see the belts changing hands, so I'm gonna stick with GOD.
I think Evil and Sonata pick up the win here and become new champs. Cody Rhodes, Juice Robinson, IWGP U.S. title on the line. Who do you got?
I got my boy Juice picking up the win. Obviously, you can go back to it. Cody's not sticking around. So Juice taking back his title. I think Juice was a great U.S. champion. I really don't think he should have ever lost it because what has Cody even done with the belt?
Yeah.
So
hopefully this time around, Juice obviously winning this match. Hopefully it's a better run than his first run because I thought he could have had a much better run with that belt. To me, pointless to give it to Cody in the first place.
Yeah.
IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship on the line. Kushida, the champion, versus Taiji Ishimori.
I'm going Taiji Ishimori. I think that, he's been obviously with Bullet Club for a while now. So I think that it's time for him to, get a title.
Ishimori's my pick, too. They love to change the titles at WrestleKingdom all the time. I feel like it's time for a new champion.
Plus, I've heard rumors, too, again, just rumors, that WWE is interested in Kushida. So who knows?
Jay White versus Okada. I think Okada wins this match. Jay White's gotten the upper hand the entire World Tag League Tour. If you've been keeping up with it, Okada's bound to get his win back.
Yeah, as much as I love Jay White, again, I got to go with Okada.
IWGP Intercontinental title on the line. Chris Jericho, the champion, versus Tetsuya Naito. I think Naito gets the win back here and takes the title back. Jericho has had a long run with it, but nothing.
I agree with you, yeah.
Then the main event, Kenny Omega, Hiroshi Tanahashi, IWGP Heavyweight title. Who do you got?
I'm going to go with Kenny Omega. I just don't see... I'm not sure how long he's going to stick around New Japan, but I don't see him dropping the belt.
I think Tanahashi wins. As much as I hate to say it, I think Tanahashi's the new champion, and we'll see what Omega does after that.
At the buzzer.
Thank you for everybody tuning in to the show, as always, for the year of 2018. We'll be back after the holidays. Stay tuned to us on social media, and thank you, as always, for the support. We really appreciate it. Have a great new year, and happy holidays, everybody.